Welcome back to 9 News Mornings. 9 News legal expert Whitney Traylor back with us this morning to talk about something we've had in the news for a few weeks now. The class action lawsuit filed against Vail Resorts and Alterra Mountain Company. We want to get all the viewers up to speed on this, what the issue is all about here, who's filed the lawsuit. So kind of bring us up to where we stand right now.
Sure, I can do that. So this is a case that was brought by 4 skiers. Essentially, they're individual skiers, but they're trying to get this certified as a class. So the lawsuit was just filed. It's a federal lawsuit alleging antitrust allegations, both state and federal. And so the companies haven't responded yet. They just got the complaint, so they'll have 30 days. So they're suing Vail and Alterra, and they're essentially saying that they're artificially raising their day prices to economically coerce skiers into buying the season passes.
Right.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Is there a defense that's already been laid out? I mean, have the companies put together a defense yet?
Well, we haven't seen the defense yet. I know they've posted some. They've come out and posted some things in the papers and that kind of thing. But I think they're going to have a fairly good defense because really there's 2 claims to this. It's tying and bundling. So they're saying, look, you raised the day prices artificially so that we would go towards the season pass. And they're also saying that you have to buy the destination resorts, but also as part of the Epic and Icon passes, you get all these regional resorts that people don't really go to.
Yes.
So they're saying it's not necessary. Now, in defense, the companies are saying, Vail and Alterra are saying, well, one, there's no merit to it, and then secondarily, they're saying that this is how we account for the bad weather. So they're saying, look, this is a business decision because if we sell the season pass, regardless of the weather, which we know this year there was very little snow.
They picked a good year to do it.
Exactly. So they're saying, no, this is just simply a business decision.
So it sounds like they could have a good defense to stand on, but let's go back to the plaintiffs. What do they have to prove here in order to win this lawsuit?
Well, because it's antitrust, there's kind of 3 things they have to show. They have to show market power so that these 2 companies have more of the market share. They have to show that it was anti-competitive harm, not just higher prices, and then that consumers paid more than they would in a competitive market. Because the idea behind antitrust is it's really counterintuitive because if a company gets too good or too big and has more of a market share, which is really kind of the basis of capitalism, is that you want to be as efficient as possible.
Sure.
Then they say, hey, you have too much of the market, and they can try and break you up or those kind of things. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword in a way. And so here, I think they're going to have a little bit of difficulty showing that they would have paid less in a competitive market. In other words, these Vail and Alterra got too big, so they pushed out the competition, and it ultimately hurt consumers.
Makes sense. Let's do a couple hypotheticals here.
Okay.
If the plaintiffs were to prevail, what would that mean for ski resorts in general moving forward?
Well, they would probably have to change their business model a little bit. Here, I think they're trying to get the class certified from 2022 on. But I think it's going to be difficult to show that you would have paid a different price as a consumer in a different market. Now, I mean, there is evidence that these prices went up significantly. So in the last 6 years, for example, Vail, the single day pass went from $219 to $356. Alterra, the single day pass, went from $159 to $339. So there is an argument that, hey, in the past 6 years, you went up 40%. That's unreasonable.
Again, we're talking about 4 skiers involved in this lawsuit, but I would say that all skiers would benefit if they came out on top.
Yeah, I think they would. I mean, well, if you're part of the class and if you bought an Epic Pass or an Icon Pass, certainly you would be as part of that class. But then, of course, going forward, the prices may come down. I'm not sure how this is going to work. And honestly, I think the plaintiffs actually have a little more of an uphill battle if I had to make my prediction right now.
Okay, and some of that based on the ski season we just saw, as we talked about at the very beginning of this. Whitney, thanks for being back on board.